If you've had to replant anything in your garden this year because of a pest, you're not alone. Today we're going to address all the underground burrowers like voles and moles. And we're also going to discuss some of the nighttime warriors like your skunks and your raccoons, and also the daytime folks like nasty insects and those pesky rabbits that keep on eating my beans. Gosh. 4 times I've had to replant this year. 4 times. Crazy, isn't it? If you had to replant your green beans multiple times this season, just like me, you're not alone. Today we're looking at how to protect the garden from underground burrowers like voles, the night shift like raccoons and skunks, and the day shift like the rabbits and the insects. We're covering natural deterrents like cayenne pepper spray, solar-powered sonic spikes to protect the sweet potatoes, how to stop Japanese beetles before they start using Milky Spore, and the power of companion planting with items like marigolds and basil. So one of the things I found out that was helpful for my beans to get them to come up was I did mix up a mixture of some cayenne pepper and some water and sprayed that onto the leaves. I believe that helped out with getting the rabbits away. I don't think the rabbits really cared for that spiciness of that cayenne pepper. But that's an all-natural way of deterring pests. That's what I really want to try to do in my garden, is I want to try to do things as natural as possible. I try not to put any of those insecticides or poisons on my plants if I don't have to. So I try to stay away from those. So the rabbits have been just crazy this year. I've noticed in my garden over here in one of the beds, I had a little den of baby rabbits in there. They're cute. I didn't have the heart to just take them all out, but I'm pretty sure whenever I disrupted the den, I think that got a few of them, because I do have some hawks and some different predators like the neighbor's cat that's running around out here. I have my trusty golden doodle that she can't get into the garden because of her wireless fence, but she also likes to bark at them all the time, and she will chase them if they get into her area. So one of the things I regret is not putting the fence all the way out around the garden, which I could still do, I guess. It's just one of those things where, do I want her in the garden? Will she be the pest? I don't know. We'll see. So the rabbits were pretty easy to deter off these beans. The simple moving the beans, moving the patch, making it somewhere where it's not so familiar to them. And then planted the beans, put some of that cayenne pepper on them as they were coming up. I believe they're big enough. Hopefully they're big enough now that they're not just going to be a salad buffet for the rabbits. I'm still going to probably still try some of the cayennes. You can see behind me we've got a storm coming in, so you got to keep on reapplying that after it rains and stuff. So for that cayenne pepper, the recipe I used was 1/4 water, 1 tablespoon of cayenne pepper, which you can grow in your garden. Any really hot pepper powder will work. And then just a drop of dish soap. That dish soap will help it stick to the leaves a little bit better. So that way it's not rolling off the leaves and just straight onto the ground and becoming a waste. And just take it, and you just simply take it and spray it down on the ground. Now, the next thing let's talk about. Last year, I had some vole problems. What is a vole? Well, a vole is a tiny looking, basically it's a cross between a mole and a mouse. So basically it's just a furry little mouse that likes to dig down underground. Now these guys were taking out my sweet potatoes. Matter of fact, when I dug them up, the year before last, 2024, when I dug my sweet potatoes up, I would have nothing but like a skin left on the sweet potato. Last year, I could see where something was gnawing on it. This year, we're not gonna let that happen. This year, I'm not sure if this is gonna work, but we're gonna give it a try. Basically, a mole repeller, solar powered, and it's supposed to vibrate into the soil, keep things out. Basically chuck this into the soil, turn it on, the solar power takes over, and it's supposed to deter the moles and the voles. Now there's 8 of them in this package, so I'm gonna put these around the garden. We'll just see what happens. I mean, this is nothing that's been proven, so don't take this with a that's how it works type of thing. But we'll stay tuned. We'll see how well this works come harvest time. I'm gonna put a couple of these stakes around the sweet potato bed, and we're gonna see how well it works. The other thing I did was this year I planted my sweet potatoes up higher. I put them in a raised bed, a 17-inch raised bed over there. That 17-inch raised bed is gonna be well off the ground, so it's gonna take, if those guys wanna burrow in and try to get the sweet potatoes, they're gonna burrow in and know to go up. So I'm trying to trick them a little bit. So all these little tips, I think that's gonna work. I think we're not gonna have any problems with moles, definitely, but maybe the voles will still have a little bit of an issue. Now I did this last winter, also have problems with them eating off my broccoli and my brassicas and stuff that I had in the hoop houses. Now I will say that putting that stuff in the hoop houses, it kind of concentrated them. It made like a little dome for them, a little perfect place for them to hang out. Because 1, it was warm, 2, it was moist, 3, I had food in there for them. With the hoop houses that I had set up, I ended up getting some mouse traps. Put a little peanut butter on those things, and I caught 4 of those voles. I'm hoping that's all I had out here, but I doubt it. We'll see. But I will say that if you're looking to try to get rid of voles, you're at the end of your season, put up a little hoop house, put up a little container to make them feel welcome and warm. Put a little food in there, put a little water in there, and put a little trap in there. And there you go, bingo. You'll get rid of those voles sooner or later. I'm hoping to get rid of them as much as I can this next winter. Now, the third thing that I came across. This garden, it's my zen place. I had little rascals coming in here after midnight throwing parties. I had one of them destroy one of my stools. Matter of fact, the same stool I'm sitting on. My butt has to sit on this hard plastic because I don't have foam on it anymore. And I had all this picked up, but look. As you can see, I come out here and they're just taking everything and just kind of running with it, destroying it, and making a mess. At first, I thought it was the neighbor's little puppy coming back here, playing around. I ended up getting a camera, and I put out here, and it's like the guy's mocking me. Watch him roll around in this stuff. I tell you, he was having a good time. He, she, whoever it was having a great time. The next day, I came out here and I piled all this stuff up, and ended up forgetting that I had it out here. I was going to go to trash bag. By the time I got to the house, I forgot about the trash bag. Stuff was just scattered all over the place. So I don't know how to take care of raccoons other than making sure that you don't have any food or food scraps out here that they're going to want to eat. Now I will say my compost pile is right over there, so maybe that was what attracted them to this a little bit. In the past, I've been using my vermicomposting piles, but then when I tend to get a bunch of stuff, they either don't fit in the vermicomposting piles or have mulch over them, and I just too lazy to do it. I can just dump it into the compost pile and just rotate it. So I have a feeling it's the compost pile that attracted them. So be it. I guess that was my own doings right there. Also on that camera, I did catch a stinky little feller, and I think what he is after is some of the grubs that are in my soil. Now, I don't mind him going out and getting those grubs. That won't bother me one bit. However, I don't know if I want him out here. I don't want him around. I don't want to put up with a golden doodle that lives in the house and having to clean her off because she got skunked. One way to do this is to get rid of all the grubs that are in your soil. If you got a grub problem, you may have a skunk problem. So keep that in mind. I do know that I get a lot of grubs from the Japanese beetles. So one thing, and the Japanese beetles themselves are just nothing but little terrors. They start coming around and it is like an invasion. And they just swarm certain plants. They'll decimate stuff. I thought I had decimated my grapes years back, but we're slowly getting those things taken care of. I found a product called Milky Spore. If you can put that down in the fall or in the spring, basically what that does is it's got these little microbes that will go around, and essentially the larvae from the beetles will come up and move through the soil and eat eat those microbes, and those microbes actually eat the larvae from the inside out, killing all the larvae. So you're basically targeting the grubs. It's an all natural thing, so we don't have to worry about, again, putting poisons in the soil. So I'll just take that stuff and sprinkle it around. I haven't done the whole yard. I usually tend to do my problem areas, which are my blackberries, over here by the grapes, and they love my roses. So I always put a bunch of my roses as well. I'm gonna have to notice that over in the strawberry patch, there are quite a few of them out there as well. So we're gonna have to take care of those guys the best we can. So another way that you can defend yourself against pests, especially insects, is by companion planting. Marigolds, basils, onions, these are all fantastic companion plants. The Egyptian walking onions, which I just had a video on if you want to go check that out, you plant those along various areas of your garden. They have an onion stench. They'll be able to keep some of those animals away, some of those insects away just from their stench. It would deter the stench. Matter of fact, I plant between my onions, the basil, and the marigolds. I've never had a hornworm over the last 5 years. I used to have them, don't have them anymore. And a lot of that is just due to the fact that I don't have to worry about it with having the basil planted next to my tomatoes, or a marigold or an onion planted next to my tomatoes. It just simply masks that scent, and I don't have to worry about them decimating any plants. Marigolds are also an excellent plant because they will deter nematodes in the soil. That plant is just such a wonderful plant. The smell up top deters different animals from like the green beans and tomatoes and different things like that, keeps them away, and then they go down in the soil and they do their work down in the soil, getting those nematodes, deterring those things away as well. So, something to think about. Companion planting, read up on it. It's not a complete science, I get it, but read up on it, see what works. There might be something out there that might work for you. Try it in your garden, that's all I'm asking. All these are just excellent little tips, little bitty tips that you can do to try to improve yourself and defend yourself against pests without having to go all, rocky on them. So what kind of stuff are you doing in your garden to deter any pests? I'm sure you got a bucket loads of tips. I would love to hear them. I would love to be able to try them someday. So leave me a comment down below. Tell me everything that you're doing to deter pests. What is the worst pest that you have ever ran into in the garden? Usually it was been the Japanese beetles for me. This year it's been rabbits. Oh my gosh. I'm telling you, Ember needs to start doing her job a little bit better, keeping the rabbits away. We're gonna have Rabbit City out here otherwise. So leave me a comment down below. So if it's something that you tell me that you don't have any pests, which I'm sure you don't, but I'm sure there's some people out there that don't, but we'll see. Cheers everybody, and God bless.